Hello, it's June back again. This is, I hope, a short technique that I'm going to show you. I haven't made the finished little gift wallet, so this will be the first time I'm putting it all together. And I did see this on YouTube, and the lady who I saw make this is Edith. I don't know her surname, so if I find out any more details I will add it in the box below. What you're going to need, and this is ideal to use your scraps because we do forget about them at times, and this could be made as a little wallet as an Easter gift. I'm not doing that. I just looked at my boxes of scrap card and picked the one that had the most in. That's excluding white and black. We won't even go there. So I've got a nice lilac card here, and that measures 10 inches by 3 3/4. And on the long side, what you need to do is score at 2 1/2, if we get it the right way, 2 1/2, and then 2 5/8, which is the next mark up, right next door to the 2 1/2, and then go over to 7, and then 7 1/8, which is next door to the 7. So you've got a very, don't know if I was in camera there, so I shall just go over that again in case I wasn't. So we've got card which is 10 inches by 3 3/4 inches, and we've scored a 2 1/2, 2 5/8, 7 inches, and 7 1/8, and that gives us a very narrow well, you can't call it a border, but you'll see what I mean in a moment. If we score that, score the second one, and because it's so close it does get a little tricky, and tricky if you don't have agile fingers. So we have that little, do you know, I don't know what you would call it, ridge. We'll call it a ridge. And if you want, you can run your score tool down the side of that just to give it a nice finish. Excuse me. So we'll do the same on this side. And then on the first one, the first score line. I think when they're so near to each other, it does make it a little bit difficult for anybody. And then you put it like that and just finish the edge. And that's going to close over. And what I'm going to do now, in case I forget when it's too late, is I haven't used magnets for a while, so I'm going to do the closure with a magnet, and we'll get those in place now. So if I put that there, and then close that over, and now I can see where that one goes. And just get that back down there again, and then that can go on there. I'll just put that to one side because I need to have something for the sides, and for that you need 2 pieces of card that measures 2.5 inches by 7/8 of an inch. And what we want to do is score at 3/8 of an inch, 3/8, and then 1/2 an inch. So that's 3/8 of an inch and 1/2 an inch. I have made a mistake somewhere. 2.5 by 7/8 of an inch, because I have cut these too big. Right, live broadcasting. So if we 7/8 of an inch, we want that cut there. So what I'm going to do, you know, you do all this prep and you think you've got it all sorted, and then you find out, no you don't. I was thinking this looked rather wide. I may have picked the 2 other pieces up actually. The ones I did cut off. Anything's possible. Never mind. Moving on very quickly. So we have our 2 pieces of card that measures 2.5 inches by 7/8. And that is very much like it. And we are going to score at 3/8 of an inch and 1/2 an inch. So 3/8 of an inch. Again, it's the very narrow border. That's all the scoring. What we have to do now is get these in situ. Just scoring these just this way because there's very little card to maneuver. I'm also going to taper the ends so we don't have too much overhang with card. These measurements will be on my blog, and that's https:// then all the W's dot poppyfieldcardcrafts.com. I'll also put it in the description box below. And then let's get rid of these. So what we want to do is glue these sides onto the first score line, because the next piece goes onto the middle section, and then we've got that depth there for when we're putting something inside. So if I add some glue, and I'm using the Nouveau Deluxe Adhesive. I love this. It is now my favourite. It dries clear. Not only that, it never clogs in the nozzle. It's fantastic. And I'll do this side. I know what I haven't done. I've cut the rest of the paper out to decorate this, and I wasn't going to use the magnets, so I haven't got the paper to cover the bottom half, but I will finish that off camera and you'll see a photo of the finished one. So they're like that. In the meantime, while they're drying and the magnets are drying, this is the front of the wallet. And what you need are 2 pieces of paper that measures 2.5 by 3.5, and that will sit very nicely on the front that way. And you could, of course, if you wanted to matte and layer, maybe with the darker purple, excuse me, with the darker purple you could matte that onto the darker one and then do that. But I'm thinking if you were posting this to someone, so we don't want it to bulge too much and we don't want it too heavy. Thinking of the cost of posting, if you were handing it to someone, you can go to town with the decoration. So we put that like that. I also have a piece, this is the second part of the 2.5 by 3.5, that will go there and nicely cover the magnet. And this was just some paper that was laid on my work table. I picked some papers up to move to do all the cutting for this, and the paper was just laid there, and I thought I will use that. It was some freebie paper from Making Cards and Papercraft. So that can go there. And now I can glue these sides, this side, onto here to give us our wallet. The same here. And I do have that, but it's, oh, it might fit. Okay then, let's glue this and that piece. And should you wish, you could also add some pretty paper on there and on the back, but you might want to write a little note on that part. So just let me hold this down a minute. and put enough glue on there. Just take the glue just under the score line. I'll just have a little bit on there, and then we'll put that there and cover that magnet. This piece is 3.5 by 2.25. And what I've made for the front, but again, it's your choice. You could put a few little flowers on, stamp hello, something like that. I've used one of Creative Expression dies, the Mini Expressions Love. That's the die. And I've die cut this 3 times to give it some depth. It's actually going to be a little bit insignificant against that white background. We'll go ahead and do that, and you may see this coloured on the finished photograph. In fact, I'm sure you will see this coloured on the finished photograph. And I shall put that at a jaunty angle, and we'll go straight. I'll put that there. So yes, I'm going to either glitter the love or colour that in. You'll see that at the end on the finished photograph. I think as well what I'll do is with the ruler and maybe the fine tip Sharpie, draw around the outside here, and that will make it stand out more on those. So you see, you can be working away and think of other ideas. Now what I've made for the inside, but say this was an Easter gift and you're decorating that in an Easter design and using it as a money wallet or gift card, that would just go in there like so. But I have made, as Edith did, a few 3x3 cards. Again, this is from the same box of purple lilac offcuts, so it's a 3-inch square, and the papers I've used to mat on here are from the same box, but I did add some white card behind each top layer, top panel. This isn't quite a 3x3 envelope, but they do fit. I want you to see that. But what I'll do off camera as well is make a proper sized envelope to fit these. But that is quite acceptable really. And that will fit in there with that. Now it's just catching on that crease mark, so I think it does require a 3x3 envelope, and I've made 4. We have one like that, and remember these were all in my purple scrap box. This was already embossed. I think I'll get 4 in. And we have that one. I did make a slightly smaller panel for the 3x3 card of white card just to make that stand out And the last one, which is embossed again, it's lovely heavy pattern on there, that will go in there. And if these envelopes play a game, which they're not, so it does require the exact size, we'll pop these out. And there you go, it snaps shut. And then you have this cute little wallet that you could decorate to suit any occasion. It's your choice. So once again, thank you for joining me, and until the next video, happy crafting. Bye.